Georgia's Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is not holding back his thoughts about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's not holding back his thoughts about Raffensperger. Trump has spent the week telling us that Raffensperger is, letting dead people's votes count, letting Dominion voting machines change the vote totals, accusing him of suppressing Trump votes, while at the same time Republicans like Lindsey Graham are calling him and saying, hey, can you just throw away Democratic votes, please? Essentially committing felonies so that Donald Trump can get a couple more electoral votes that won't even ultimately change the outcome of the election. Sure, whatever. It's all a bit ridiculous, and it's all hurting the chances of the two Republican incumbents who are heading towards Senate runoffs in January. But Raffensperger this week lashed back out with at Trump. And he actually made a good point to Trump, which Trump obviously doesn't like when people make good points to counter his points, about why he actually lost the election, including the state of Georgia. And that is simple. You spent months trying to tell Republicans don't vote by mail because it can't be trusted. And then, of course, Republicans didn't vote by mail. Democrats did. And those are the votes that flipped the state to blue. Could it really be that simple, folks? Yes, actually it could. We saw the absentee votes, the vote by mail, all of that was hugely benefiting the Democrats. Election night rolled around. The voting in person hugely went for Donald Trump, but then all those remaining absentee ballots still had to be counted. The vote by mail had to be counted. And that's when Biden then retook a major lead. That is what happened. And yes, a large part of it is due to the fact, as Raffensperger said, because Trump spent months telling people this can't be trusted. This isn't the way to go. Please do not do this. So his supporters didn't. They waited for Election Day, and most of them showed up. Some of them were unable to for one reason or another. That's what happened. And it's those people who weren't able to get there on Election Day, but may have been able to vote by mail, but didn't because he told them to. It's that slim margin that made the difference. Trump did that to himself. His embrace of conspiracy theories, because that's what this was about voting by mail, that's what did him in. His hubris, his arrogance. He was Icarus flying too close to the sun and he melted his wings. You understand the poetic justice of this, folks? Because we are truly looking at an epic, an Aesop fable that teaches us a lesson at the end. We're living it in real time here. That's what Donald Trump is. It's a lesson against the arrogance, against the hubris, against conning people. And then eventually the con consumes you too. It becomes your undoing. That's what happened with Donald Trump. So I hope everybody is taking these lessons to heart. Because if they're not, we're going to end up with something far worse than Donald Trump 4 years from now.